played at high volume.
Pretty much it just depends. Like, it like shows or playing behind the artist or like gigs and whatnot. I kind of just play the same thing that's on the record. So I just learn the record, like exact. And whatever like the kick is going on there, of course I'm gonna do the same thing just to match the record. And then when it comes to just like me playing like on my own or whatever, like with the band, I kind of just, my kick placement is wherever I feel. It's a feeling thing. So if I'm playing, that feels good. Like I kind of just place it like in spots that's not like cluttering the bass or that's not like overstepping, but it's, you know what I'm saying, like it's pushing, like it's cool. That's kind of how I do my kick placement. That's it. The process is with getting a song done. If I have to learn a song, I pretty much just learn it at the crib, over and over. When we get to rehearsal, that's when I rehearse it with everybody else. It's not like I go in and kind of like play stuff like on my own, like I used to. And I will again once I get a crib, like another crib. But when I was staying like back at home in Atlanta, my mom had my drums in my basement. So like every like thing that I did, like I would just go down in my basement and just practice the show by myself or practice the songs out by myself. But now I kind of just like practice them at the crib, like mentally, before we get to rehearsal. And then we get to rehearsal, I already know everything that I want to do. So it's just like sit down and play it. We're gonna be playing it in rehearsal all day, so I can get everything like out during that rehearsal. I did when I was in college because I had to. And when I got out of college, I kind of like strayed away from it because I was getting into other things or whatever. Like I had just started gigging around the city or whatever. Playing for a couple of artists, so like my attention wasn't on like, oh, let me read this book and play. It was more so on some, let me just go down there and just practice for hours on whatever I want to play, whatever comes to mind. As far as shows, watching stuff on YouTube, playing to like tracks, or just me playing by myself. It was more so like one of those like free flowing experiences, not like a study like practice method in a book type. But in college we did have this book. I do want to get this book back, and I'm gonna start back practicing with it. It's called the New Breed book. I suggest every drummer go and get the New Breed book. it's just like a different variety of different like patterns and stuff that you're gonna do with your kick, or you can put it with anything. You can do it with your ride, you can do it with your snare, hi-hat, pretty much anything. Like, you just read it and you play it down. But we was doing it with kicks in school. So we would put the book right here or on the staff, and then my dude Craig, which is my favorite teacher, Craig would be sitting down and he'd be like, yeah, hey, cool, measure 1. Turn the click on, and we'll play it. Play it down, you read it and play it. Like, I was horrible at sight reading too, so I was really bad at it. But that's one book that I am gonna get, and yeah. So yeah, definitely like this whole experience, man. Doing a Purpose World Tour is definitely a blessing. It's crazy. I'm just happy that I have a drum tech that can help me out. Got my boy L, who I'm gonna introduce to y'all a little bit later, whatever. But like, he's here killing it every night, setting me up, setting all my stuff up, making sure I'm straight or whatever. So y'all let me meet him later, and I'll let him talk to y'all about some things later. Alright, so look, we got my boy L here, guys. This is my drum tech for the Justin Bieber Purpose Tour. We out here, baby.
My station is literally under his kit. I'm under the riser, under him, but I have a video monitor, and I'm on areas where I can talk to him, he talk to me. So I can see if something go wrong through the video, or I can talk to him if something go wrong. So I'm right under the stage.
Right there, man.
Yeah.
Right under the stage. Pretty much during the whole process, I could talk to him during the show, and if something goes wrong, like a cymbal fall or something, I could just be like, yo, L.
Or I see it from the
or
video.
He sees it, right.
So, and I mean, the whole time I'm sitting there watching the video and have a screen with him, the full show, and the other guys in the band, so we can see each one of them, make sure everybody's okay. You know what I mean? So, the camera's on him. That's shooting behind him or either side, so you can see if something wrong. I got a whole view of the kit on my camera screen. So I'm literally where he's sitting at. I'm right under him, under the riser. So if he calls me, I'm to him in like 5 seconds. I'm right there. You know what I mean? So it's a good spot to be. You know what I mean? Especially with how the stage is. There's no way to be on the side or, you know what I mean? And you want to always be visible, see your guy. You know, make sure everything's good. So.
Then they get in and they load in.
Yeah.
What do you guys load in on the show day or the day before?
Well, sometimes the riggers load in the day before. Sometimes, but if you have a show back to back, then we'll load in like at 6, sometimes 4 in the morning, depending on what time it is. I mean, not my department, but the riggers, because before the stage can be built, they got to get the lights up there first, and then the stage get built, and then the back line get built, and then you get power. You know what I'm saying? So it's a kind of method, whatever. So if a load day starts at 6, I may go in at 9. You know what I mean? And I have the honor of setting up Devon's kit, the jam room kit, and setting up JB, Justin's kit, whatever. So, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, it's his kit and Justin's kit is 2 different type of style, you know what I mean? 2 different tunings, you know what I mean? So he likes his warm, real tony, but big body, so you can feel everything, you know what I mean? And, you know, and Justin's got his, you know, smacking and times is going through, so it's just fun. It's a great experience, man. My first time setting 3 kits up every night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's
out of work, baby.
Yeah, hey, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's a good experience, man. Just watching him grow every night, man, and watching him get more comfortable is amazing to see, man. So,
I wanted him on this interview with me, guys, because he makes sure I'm straight every day. I know he was asking like some questions about like just the whole production in itself, and having him a part of the team, like with the production, is great because I mean it doesn't matter like any drum tech, like you and your drum tech are pretty much gonna kind of be like this, cause like y'all working with each other, and you don't want to like him to mess up nothing or whatever, but at the same time it's like yeah, like y'all wanna have that bond in that relationship. So if like he does, like if something does go wrong, like it's not like any like bad vibes. It's just like, oh yeah, my bad, bro. Like
We talk about
cool,
it.
you know that. We kind of like talk stuff out. That's right. Like if I have new ideas or something, I just be like, yo, L.
New stack sound, new placement.
Yeah.
I want this here, I want this there, whatever, anything like that. You know what I mean?
We'll get up
And then
there.
once you do that, once I figure out what he likes and how he likes it, then keep it in memory, or you know what I'm saying, and make sure he comfortable with that when he sits down. Sometimes they're not doing no sound checks. So when I go in and do a line check, and he go right on stage, he gotta sit down and everything be right. Triggers be on point. Ain't gonna be no, hold on 1 second. You know what I mean? He gotta know everything's there. So you know having a tech, drum tech, is you gotta trust that guy, because if I mess up, then that's the shit. It's
out of here.
It's out of here.
Out of
No,
here.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's the show. So that's the whole show. So you gotta be real on point with everything you're doing, with triggers, with making sure it's plugged in. Like sometimes, sometimes things just happen. When you hitting, beating on something, stuff weirds.
Right.
So you just gotta, you gotta be quick, proficient on it. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing is, where the drums is, it's at the corner, and of course it's like 3 stories high. So I'm big, so I gotta fit this. I gotta climb up the thing, crawl in there, and try to fix everything fast. It's just funny, but. You know what I mean? I'm up for the challenge, man, and it's good. And the Pearl drums hold up very, very solid. They're very solid drums.
Very solid hardware.
Remo hold up. Zildjian hold up. So I mean, it's not like I'm up there fixing stuff every night. You know what I mean? All the products, all the gear is phenomenal, top notch, the best. You know what I mean? So we A-okay, man. Then you got Young Cannon coming up, man. He hitting the world by storm. I'm telling the world about him. Like, yo, little bro killing him.
He got me straight. He got me straight.
So,
but yeah, I just know as far as like production goes, like you just need that support. You need that help. So I'm very grateful that he took the time out to kind of like, he came in later, like we was already in rehearsals when he came in. So he came in and kind of took like the week or 2 weeks that he had and kind of like just made sure like everything was cool as far as like me, like my setup, like my cymbals, like how I want everything, how I like everything tuned, and pretty much just catered to me, man.
And then backups too.
Yeah.
You never know if something will go wrong, so you got to come in and order 6 months of gear. You know what I'm saying? Because we about to go on this long tour, and if we're in Europe or in Canada, we can't get stuff shipped. We got to have everything there. So, you know what I mean? So I kind of came in like 2 weeks before the tours would start, and
hook me up.
phone calls, getting all the gear, and man, I'm telling you, Pearl's been awesome. Roland's been awesome. Big Firth been awesome. Zildjian's been awesome. Like as soon as I came in from day one, they all listen. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? So absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's good to have a relationship with them, and I worked with all them companies before of other artists, so I already have had a relationship. So, you know what I mean? That matters. You know what I mean? It's more than just playing drums, more than your craft. It's about relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
definitely relationship is the biggest thing. That's why.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I say, it just goes back to me just pretty much like thanking him for coming in and taking the time out, like I said, to just make sure I was straight. Not only like with my drums, but he was saying he called and made sure I had like an endless amount of things, cymbals, heads, sticks, backup snares, spare stuff, like everything, just so when we came out here and got on this tour, like everything is cool. Like we don't have to be calling and cramming and like yo, like we need some stuff out here in like 2 days, like type. Nah, like he came out here and he just pretty much catered to me, made sure I was straight. So I appreciate it. My experience, man, from like the whole audition process to now, it's just been crazy. Like I got a phone call out of the blue to audition for Justin. I was supposed to be doing something else during the time that the audition was going on, but I kind of like just prayed about it and went with my first gut, my instinct pretty much, and went ahead and did the audition, and that joint was like 3 days or something like that. And yeah, they was digging me, and they hired me. So just going from that to going to rehearsals and getting a drum tech and like building my rig and learning all the music, just like the whole thing in itself is just like a great experience. Like it was just crazy. Like, I mean, I never thought for me doing that audition would like lead me here, because I didn't know that I was gonna get the gig. Like I know I was just going in to do an audition. Like, hey, all right, cool. If they like me, cool. If they don't, cool. Like, just going to do my thing. I'm going to do what I love to do, play drums. And now I'm just grateful, like, to be a part of something that's so amazing. For like our generation and younger generation. I'm only 23, so for me to be out here touring and playing and having like an old head on my team, like teching, you know what I'm saying? Just the whole experience, man, is crazy. It's good. Like hopefully I'm sharing like a positive light and a positive energy to like a lot of the people that's my age, like a lot of my friends, my peers, or just anybody that look up to me, and like a lot more of my friends and peers. Like hopefully like I'm inspiring them to do the same thing. Like never give up on what you want to do. Like go out there and you go with your first instinct, man. You fight for what you want. Like you put your all into the things that you love to do. Don't ever do anything that you don't want to do or that you don't love to do. For sure. I said just show up. It's your game face. You know, show up ready. Show up knowing everything that you're supposed to know. If they sent you some music, yeah. They sent you some records, they sent you some music. You show up, you know them records, you know that music. You feel me? You just gotta show up prepared, pretty much. And prepared is not only playing. That's like your physical appearance, your hygiene. You know, like you as a person, you being prepared. Don't be all nervous and goofy in there. You know. And yeah, of course, kill it on drums. You kill it. Like just get in there and do what you can do. Like do your thing. Like don't get in there nervous. Like man, I'm nervous to play drums. Like you play drums. This is what you do. So you get in there. You treat that just like church.
Yep.
Not. You know what I'm saying?
Don't play
like church, right? But you know,
be comfortable like
it. Yeah. How comfortable like going to church. Same way. Alright, so every night it's the same thing. So basically for me, I have L here that sets up like my whole rig. He sets up everything, so I'm comfortable. Like he knows like my whole setup, so it's not gonna change night to night. So when I get up there, it's the same thing like every night. You know, we get up there. Pretty much, we all kind of holler at each other and talk to each other and talk at mics, make sure everything is cool. You know, as far as like triggers, pads, sounds, you can hear everything. Then when we get up there, it's game time. Pretty much, it's showtime. Lights, camera, action. It's game time. As far as like playing with dancers and cues and lights, I kind of like did the same thing, or I do the same thing every night, pretty much. Like from rehearsals, I do the same thing. Only because it's planned out. Lights know what I'm going to do. Dancers know what I'm going to do. I know what they're going to do. I know when the lights is going to change right here. Like, all of it is in sequence. Like, all of it is synced up. That's why we have those rehearsals. That happens a lot. You know,
you have mistakes, but for the most part, when it's showtime, you know, it's not time for mistakes. You know, the preparation, the 2 months rehearsal before the tour, that gives you time to make mistakes, work out the kinks, figure out what you're going to do. At this moment, he knows what he's going to do. He does the same chop every section, same stuff, and it's times he has open time to freestyle, in which he murders it. But for the most part, he's doing the same. It's consistent, and that's what shows your professionalism. Doing the same thing every time, so the dancers can know. They do hits, lights can go with them, everything.
Every night.
Every night. So it's like everything is on cue. You know what I mean? So maybe the beginning of rehearsals, that bam went in there, but when he did it and it felt good, they'll keep that, and then make that part of the show. So a lot of times, a lot of dance moves and hits become part of the show off of what he feels. So a lot of times he gives that heart. He's the heartbeat. You know, he gives that. You know what I mean? So, but when it's showtime, ain't time for mistakes. If you make mistakes, then after 2 months of rehearsal, you don't need to be there.
I mean, I really don't know, man. Like, nothing is pre-planned, like, in my head at all. Like, everything that I do, I play pretty much off of feeling, except for, like, with the show. I mean, with the show, I play off feeling, too, but that's a little bit more structured. But as far as, like, just me playing by myself, it's off the top of the dome. I do practice some chops, like when I mean, not necessarily practice chops, but like when I sit down to practice, like whatever comes out, like at the time I'm trying to get something out, then yeah, I practice it until I get it out or until I get it clean. But I mean, I don't sit there and write down my chop and practice the same chop. I just get on and play. Whatever comes out, comes out. Pearl though, I love Pearl drums. Like my drums sound amazing, man. Each one of my drums are different. As far as like the shell structure, like my 10 is birch and maple, but more so birch. Then my 12 straight maple, and then my 16 and my 18 are birch and like African mahogany, and then my kick is straight African mahogany. It's crazy, like the way Pearl makes their joints, like with the reference series lines. It's amazing, man. Like, and my snares are 20 plies. Like, all of them except for my 10-inch. I have a 10-inch maple snare. 10 by 5, I want to say. It's my Pearl. That's the only one that's not like a 20 ply. But my main snare, my 14 by 5.5, my 14 by 6.5, they both are 20 plies. So they're like really, really heavy. Like, man, those snares are amazing. Like, the whole drum kit, like itself is just great. It's crazy. And they sound great, man. They sound amazing. Also, cymbals, I'm playing Zildjian. I'm playing the A custom line. I'm playing the K lines, all 18s and 19-inch crashes. I have a couple of 20-inch crashes too. Splashes, I'm playing the EFX splashes from Zildjian. Then I'm playing like an A custom fast splash from them. What else? Electronics, I'm using Roland electronics, so I'm using 2 SPDSX pads. I'm using the Roland RT30 single triggers for the snares, and also the RT30Ks, which is a kick trigger for my kick. I'm using BT1 bars from Roland, and I'm also using the V-drum pad from Roland. As far as my electronics, drum heads, Remo, baby. And Big Fur drumsticks, man, the best sticks in the world, you already know.
Absolutely.
Best in the game.
Best in the game.
There is nothing to prove me, this is not a